my first live in 2 weeks. I have to wait for that video to go to leap up and mute it, which I'm not seeing it go yet. Oh, there it is. Hold on. Okay. Oh my goodness. What a wild 2 weeks. What a wild ride. I have so much to tell you. But I'm going to wait until I see you start coming in because, you know, I like to do that. And I'm hoping everyone is okay. For all of you folks on the West Coast and everybody over in Louisiana, please, please, please check in and tell me if you're okay. Oh, Sandra's here. Oh, Sandra, I'm going to show you a picture. Hello from Long Island, from Wisconsin, from Oregon, Shannon. Please check in, Shannon, and tell me if you're okay. Obviously, I have a lot of friends on the West Coast, and it's been kind of a scary time. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Mary. Hi, Virginia, Nyack. Oh, Bristol, UK in the house. Mary from Smoky, Oregon. Hello. So please, my West Coast friends, please, my Louisiana friends, please just let me know you're okay. Believe it or not, for the folks on the West Coast, it's going to be hard to believe. But yesterday, our skies were very odd and hazy here. And the weather report said, yes, that is smoke from the West Coast. So just wild. Oh, first day in a while with no smoke here in the San Francisco Bay Area. Oh, that is very good to hear. My nephew is living in San Francisco right now, and it's his first fire season. And of course, being a gentleman of a certain age, he was not super interested in taking his auntie's input about getting the fire tracker apps. And, you know, the San Francisco Chronicle has that great fire tracker website, you know, before he like gets in his car and starts driving. But, you know, it can be rough out there. Anyway, oh, good. Okay, we're fine staying inside. Good. Stay inside. Yeah, we had smoke here in Michigan. It's just absolutely wild. Oh, thank you, Donna. Donna says Affinity was so fun. Hello from Denver. So obviously I've been gone for 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks. I took 2 whole weeks off because the final push to get ready for Affinity was the last 6 months have been the hardest I've ever worked in my life. I've barely spoken to my family at all and had like 3 emails saying, I'm still alive. But it's really hard to explain to my family because I'm sure they think I'm exaggerating, that I wouldn't have time for a phone call. But when I say literally, I'm not using it in that annoying way that people use when they actually mean figuratively. I mean, literally, my eyes open in the morning and I'm on the computer until they close at night. I had very little idea that when I had this like wacky idea in June, that when it became absolutely clear we'd have to cancel Affinity, or rather not cancel it, but postpone it until 2021. And the wonderful people at Tabasco Harbor let me transfer all those reservations and hold them at the 2020 rate, despite the fact that they were undergoing a multi-million-dollar top to bottom renovation, which meant the prices would be going up next year, but they're just the most wonderful business partner ever. So I will say, for anybody out there that's looking for a beautiful place to go on vacation, a safe place to go on vacation, they have thought of everything, every possible protection for you. Please, 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 and I'll put it in the notes. consider checking out Sebasco Harbor in Maine. It's absolutely stunning. It's the oldest family-run resort in Maine, and obviously, just like everybody else, they're hurting. And what a wonderful place. So when I had this like wacky idea that I didn't want the attendees to miss out on any fun, and I didn't want the attendees who, obviously we've all had such a rough year. I wanted to bring a little bit of joy, but also I wanted to still be able to provide some income for my 3 teachers, my 2 speakers, my 5 vendors. So I just thought like, oh, I'll pivot and make it virtual. Like I had any idea what I was doing. As if I had a single clue what that meant, even though I work really closely with Vogue and I train the teachers for their virtual events, and I've been a consultant for their virtual events. A virtual teaching event where is hard enough work. Like what Vogue produces is enough work, just having all those classrooms going. But I decided like, no, I want it to be like a retreat. So I want to have live events in the evening, and I want to have games, and I want to have fashion shows. And I had no clue what I was doing. I had no clue how hard that would be to pull off. What a technical insanity that was. Anyway, I don't know if she's here yet because I haven't checked in, and she might still be sleeping. Let me scroll back and see. But no, Pam's not here. She's probably asleep. So Pam, who is also Geek Girl Knitting, my Ravelry moderator, was my main IT assistant. She helped me set up the whole registration site, which was like really hard work to set up. And she was the one monitoring the web chat during the whole event. So anytime someone was like, I'm on an iPad and I can't figure out how to change the view, or where do I download homework materials? Even though like, oh my God, I can't imagine how many times I sent out those reminders of don't forget your Access online event pages, but still, I love you guys, but sometimes following the directions, not so much with a thing. But anyway, so without her and without my other 2 assistants and without my husband, there's no possible way I could have pulled this off. And of course, without Nora Gahn, Mary Jane Mucklestone, Kate Atherley, Jeanette Sloan, Bristol Ivy, Tabitha from Long Island Yarn and Farm with that amazing farm tour, all my vendors, and Zula Luxury Fibers. Long Island Yarn and Farm was also one of the vendors. Stephen Willett, Northlight Fibers, Nerdbird Makery, excuse me. It just wouldn't have felt like a real retreat. So anyway, that's what I've been up to. I'm just going to quickly catch up here. Okay, good. Claire says that it was the first time she went out for a walk today. Well, that's, so, it's funny because the national news, I guess we only get sort of the worst of everything, even though today was, I slept in until 8:44 a.m., which is about 2 hours later than I've slept in the last, I would say 2 months, which means I missed almost all of Morning Edition. So I only had 15 minutes left of Morning Edition. So when that happens, KCRW to the rescue, because I can listen to KCRW because it's 6 in the morning there, and I can catch up on all the Morning Edition. So even though I listen to KCRW, so I get all the California news too, they're not really, you don't waste airtime with good news. So there's not like, this town is doing better and people can go for a walk. So all it is just been just dire news after dire news after dire news. So it's been rough. Yeah, skies here in New York City because of the smoke. It's just wild. Hazy in Michigan. Hello from Denver. Yes, smoke is part of the national weather now. So true. Ah, Jinjin, long time no see. Because you go, I can't. Yeah, by the way, everyone that was at Virtual Affinity, I can't believe you're here because I can't believe you're not completely sick of seeing my face. God knows I am. I could not be more sick of seeing my face. Oh, thank you. Sandra says it's an amazing place, Sabasco Resort. So yes, please check it out. I will definitely put a link in the show notes. Okay, so, Jinjin got a Nostipin? You know, I was bummed because all 5 vendor rooms were going at once. So I popped in and out to say hello to each vendor. Each vendor had their own assistant. So I went into Stephen Willette's room and I saw some of those shawl pins, but I also saw that the wooden yarn bowl they had right in the middle of their display. Oh, that one looked really pretty. So if anyone was at Virtual Affinity and bought a wooden yarn bowl, I'm dying to see. Actually, I'm dying to see everything you bought. So as soon as you take a nap, start posting those pictures on Instagram of what you bought. And don't forget to tag me, Affinity Retreat, and the vendors, because I love to see, the vendors getting some love, because obviously it's been a rough year. And oh, Troy, you saw the yarn. Troy, did you buy the yarn bowl or just drool at the yarn bowl? Because I just drooled at the yarn bowl. And I really wanted to get the backpack of Nevertheless She Persisted from Nerdbird Makery, but I was good because they're all hand sewn to order. So she's very smart about not over promising. She doesn't want to over promise and under deliver. She wants to under promise and over deliver, like every excellent retailer does. So she's very smart about not just being greedy and taking 8 million pre-orders and then getting them when you get them. But she's never going to go to machine-made bags from China, because if you know anything about her brand, that's not what she's about, right? These are all handmade. Oh, here's mine. I did get this. I didn't buy this at Affinity, so I didn't take bags from you guys, but I did get one at Stitches West last February. I got one of the Feminist Knit Club, which is the best. But I really wanted to buy that bag, but because there were limited quantities, I was good. And I didn't. Oh, Sharon had a backpack in the cart and it disappeared. Yeah, we had to move fast. But Sharon, don't forget to follow her on Instagram. And she puts up notices a couple of days in advance with the day and the time that the next new batch of bags will go on sale. I've always missed it because I always oversleep. So that's on me. That's on me. That's my bad. Okay. So some of you might be here to find out about what's going on with the video sweater class. So I'm here to do a reveal today. So first, let me just tell you a little bit about it. I've named it in honor of the retreat. So yes, the sweater is called Affinity, but I also love that name because of the idea of that, I don't know, this is a sweater that's for the whole family. So this is unisex. So you're going to have so many options. You're going to have, you can make it with no waist shaping. You can make it with waist shaping. You can make an A-line shape. You can make a cardigan. You can make a pullover. There's 12 adult sizes that go from 34 to 64, 12 adult sizes, and there's 4 children's sizes. So of course, the obvious question is, when does it go on sale? That is such a good question. So it's at the Tech Editors now. It's been at the Tech Editors for a week because it's really complicated, not to knit, very complicated to design. And I really want to create, I can't remember, a a low vision version, the accessible, I can't remember what there's a tag on Ravelry. And there's so much to tell you about how to buy my stuff in a second. Which meant, even though really charts are a good way to go if you're able to read charts, there's going to be, on the name of each chart, it's going to be a link, and you can click it and boom, you'll get another PDF with the words. So this is also good if you're new to chart reading and you're like, I think I read that right. Did I? Oh, I did, right? To be able to double check yourself. It's a good way to teach yourself how to read the chart. Not that you have to teach yourself, because it's a full video sweater class, so there's going to be a ton of videos. But I'm also working on having those 2 downloads, the pretty download with the pretty layout that includes photographs, and then the just black and white version, all text, no photographs, which is the low vision one with the larger fonts, no photographs at all, no colors, just black and white. Okay, so before I show it to you, oh shoot, oh, the humanity. That's okay, I'm gonna grab it when I go to the video. I forgot, I wanted to have the 2 balls of yarn, which are right there in the closet. Very professional. Before I show it to you, I also want to announce something pretty exciting, which is finally, my web store is open. So you now can buy directly from me, which A, helps support your hardworking teacher and designer by putting more money directly in my pocket, I'll be honest. And B, for anyone that has accessibility issues with Ravelry, you no longer have to go through the Ravelry store. So you can just go to pattylyons.com, click on that little button that says shop, and there you'll find all of my video classes. I think I have 17 or 18 now. You can get to choose whether or not they're digital download or DVD. Within the digital download, when you buy it, you'll see you get a pop-up link, and don't skip the ones that say, read me first. Please click on those. Those are instructions on how to play your video file. But then you'll get your handout, you'll get your homework and materials, and there's 2 different video download links. So you can, if you're on a computer, you have plenty of hard drive space, or you have an external hard drive, or you're going to put it on a jump drive, go ahead and download the digital DVD file, which is your larger file, all the functionality of a DVD. It's actually your DVD file. It's legitimately your DVD that you've purchased. Like I take a DVD and like it's literally your DVD. That will play with menus, with chapters, stop, rewind, fast forward, all that stuff. But if you're on an iPad or a tablet, or if space is limited, or if you have slow internet, and so downloading a large file doesn't work because you keep getting interrupted, then you'll click on the link that says simple video download, and you'll have that. You can get all my patterns. You can get all 3 kits that I'm currently selling: the Seagate kit, the Labadee kit, and the Jetson kit. And the kits are a really good savings because all those classes have video tutorials, and all the classes will come at a big discount, and the yarn is discounted. So there, okay. The next big bit of news is my next project after launching the Affinity video sweater class is to launch my education platform. So I have it. I've gone through, in case you're thinking like, yeah, we've heard this before. We've been hearing this for years. It's true, you have been hearing it for years. But the technology has changed a lot. And the problem in the past has been, one thing I learned from what happened with Craftsy and what happened with Interweave and people losing their content that they purchased, is I hear you loud and clear. You're not interested in purchasing lifetime access to a class that only lives on a streaming platform. So until recently, most of the streaming platforms that I could have presented classes on didn't also have the option to click a button and download. So that was really important to me because it's great to have a streaming option for when you're on the go. But for a lot of people, maybe their Wi-Fi isn't fast enough to stream. Maybe they want to watch something offline, but also maybe they just want to hit download, put it on an external drive or a jump drive, know they own it for EVs, and they don't have to worry about the platform. But the idea is, and this is my next long-term idea, so give me a little time, is that a lot of the classes that right now are digital, like Easy Does It or Make Your Gauge Work, will transfer over to this educational platform where they'll be broken up into chapters, and they will now be more interactive, because like the old Craftsy, not the current one, but the old one, you'll be able to ask a question right there. So it's true the prices may go up a little bit, but that's because there'll be little manpower hours on my part answering all your questions. But I do mean a little bit. It's very important to me that I keep everything very, very price reasonable. And this is going to be the big project, the 11 video pattern classes that right now only exist in private YouTube, where you click on a red link and it launches a YouTube video. All of that video content will eventually come off of YouTube. Don't worry, I'm not going to do it like immediately, and go onto the education platform. The red links in those PDFs will still function. So you can still be like, oh, but I don't want to log onto an education site and watch a video. I really like having that PDF, knitting through a pattern, and I get to a place there where I need help and click and it launches. That will still happen. But you can also go to the site and watch all the videos at once. And I will be moving eventually the message boards over there, but the Ravelry group will always be part of the interaction. So whether or not we keep pictures and chatter over there, and that becomes more of a social aspect of the knit along, but just the pure questions and answers are on the education platform, I'm still figuring that out. One other aspect to the education platform is I think if I get the largest, most expensive plan, I get to have a group. So that'll be more like having a Facebook group without having to be on Facebook, because I know a lot of you guys don't want to be on Facebook anymore, which is why the Facebook Lives ended up moving over to YouTube Live, because I had so many emails asking me to do that. So that would be a place where just people can go and hang out and chat. But last but not least, the educational platform will also be able to host live events. So say I have a video sweater class and I kick it off as a CAL, a knit along, and you go there, and that's where, you click your download, and that's where you watch your videos, or you watch your videos from your PDF. But there also might be dates where maybe a couple of times during the knit along, we have a live event where we all have a live check-in, and we host it on Zoom, and people can have cameras on, and people can ask questions and show their progress. And maybe we just have like a knit along night where we're just hanging out and knitting. So there's a lot of good things coming. And the one thing that I learned during Virtual Affinity, and I got so many lovely emails that made me cry, just crazy kind emails. It's really easy for us to be so focused on what we can't have, what we can't do anymore. Oh, we can't have these live events. We can't do this. We can't do that. We can't. That we can lose sight of the gifts that have been revealed to us. And the virtual events have been a gift that have been revealed to us. So a lot of people that came to Virtual Affinity would not have been able to come to the event in Maine, either because of accessibility issues, because they really can't travel, because of care. I heard from people that because of caretaker issues, because they're the primary caretaker for either a parent or a child, which makes traveling really not possible, either because of their work schedule, which makes traveling, because that makes the event longer for them. Like Virtual Affinity was Friday night through Monday afternoon. So some of them took a half a day off. But if it was travel, taking too many days off, right? And they can't. So many people for so many different reasons that I feel that virtual events will always be a part of my life now, in addition to live events. So I'm not gonna, be like, oh, I can just not wear pants from now on. Because you don't know if I have pants on. You don't. You have no idea. All right, I'm wearing pants, but I am wearing these as shoes. Okay. But I think they'll be a part of my life forever. Now, what I hadn't thought of, because you guys are smarter than me. Remember, when I'm running a business and the business is right here, right? It's a little too close for me sometimes to step back and see all the possibilities. So somebody said, I was thinking of it as an either or. Either I do another virtual event, like maybe in the spring, there's another virtual affinity, and then next fall, there's the live event. But I never thought about it as and I'm still not sure that I can technically do this. But somebody posted a question saying, would any of the live affinity be streamed? And the reason I don't know about that is because Maine has garbage Wi-Fi right now. So what I don't want to do is charge for anything that can't happen. So that may not be able to happen for anything to be streamed from the live affinity. But maybe if I just don't feel like it's possible because of the garbage Wi-Fi, but I want to like experiment with some kind of streaming of one of the events as like a free thing for you just to come, then I won't, if it's free, I won't feel bad if it just doesn't work, right? Like if the Wi-Fi drops every 5 seconds. So anyway, that's what's in my head, and keep those ideas coming, because like I said, had someone not posted a question during, I can't remember whether it was the teacher Q&A or whether it was the final goodbye about would the Maine 2021 be streamed, I wouldn't have thought about it. So there you go. So I'm just catching up on comments. Oh yeah, another virtual affinity, please. Yeah, I'm already thinking about it. I'm thinking about maybe April. That's what I'm already thinking about. Oh yes, I love virtual events. I've never been able to go to live events. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing more and more. And I don't want to just make it go away. Oh, Jinjin said maybe do a spring virtual event. Yeah, you read my mind. Okay. So now back to the video sweater class. So when? Soon. It's at the Tech Editors now. I'm going to get it back on Thursday. There are, like I said, 2 versions, a pullover and a cardigan. The pullover is done. The cardigan, I'm still working on the sleeves. Also, there's a child's version. And Sandra, who is here, knit the kids' cardigan. And I am working on the pullover. So I'm about to show it to you, but I'm going to answer this question that just popped up. Will 2021 still be Friday night through Monday afternoon? No, those dates weren't available. It's Thursday night through Sunday afternoon. It's September 9th. Hold on, let me make sure I'm saying these dates correctly. It is, and I actually think I had already posted these dates on the website. Yeah, September 9th through 12th. And I have already, if you go to the Affinity website, it says postponed, until September 9th through 12th. So everything shifts over. The opening night party is Thursday night, then classes all day Friday. Then we have the event all day Friday, Friday night, all day Saturday, Saturday night, Sunday morning, and Sunday afternoon, lunch, wrap up, and goodbye. There you go. Okay. So my goal is next week to go on vacation, because holy mother of holy, am I tired. Like right now, I woke up this morning and my calendar alarms boinged for the 2 overdue things that were supposed to happen yesterday. One, turn in a new Modern Daily Knitting column, which is already 2 weeks late. They gave me an extension because of Affiknity, because they are the nicest people in the land to work with. When you can't do it, when you're like, can I wave the white flag? They're like, yeah, we'll rearrange our calendar. They're that nice. And then the other boing was new classes for Vogue, because I promised Vogue new classes for the virtual show in October. So I got that done in the morning. I got to write a column as soon as I go offline. How small does the children's sweater go? It's not a baby sweater, it's kids sweater. So I think it's 28-inch chest. And then hold on, let me grab it, because I don't remember the 4 sizes. So I'll just go look. It is Affiknity Junior. Affiknity Junior. Affiknity Junior sizes are, oh, sorry, I lied. Affiknity Junior sizes are 26 and a half, 28, 30 and a half, and 32 and a half. So in kids sizing, and American sizing is so nutty nut, it doesn't mean anything. But in kids sizing, that would be a size 8, 10, 12, and 16. But American sizing is garbage, because it doesn't mean anything, because it's so annoying. Okay. Oh yeah, thanks. Sandra knew the smallest size, because that's the size she knit. So I am going to now wheel over the mannequin that has the sweater on it. Then I'm going to go to a video that shows same said sweater worn by both me and my husband, not the same design. I mean, literally the same sweater. And while the video is running, I'll take it off the mannequin. That's why I wore a cardigan today. And I'll put it on. And we'll also talk about the cardigan version. Okay, so hold on. Chat amongst yourselves, because here she comes. Okay, so let's talk about this bad boy. Okay, just going to tip this up a little bit. There we go. So this is Affiknity, and as you can see, it has pockets, hidden pockets that are all built in to the cabling. So that is all built in. Then you have lovely cabling all down the back. And a couple of things that I want you to know about me being crazy. Okay. One is the cable emerging. Let's see if I can zoom a little bit. The cable emerging directly from, oh, I just turned a mask on my face. That was on from Virtual Affiknity. I forgot that was in the screen. I'm going to turn that off. Hold on. Oh my God. Although now that I have it for, the closing. Wash your hands. Don't touch your face. Wear a mask. Anyway, oh my God. I should have turned on, where did I have it? I should have turned on the raising the curtain. These are all these crazy things I did in Virtual Affinity. Anyway, one of the things that's really important to me, and I'm still going to zoom a little more, is when cables come directly out of the rib. I really, really like that. It's really important to me. Another thing that's really important to me, because again, I'm crazy, is a neckline being incorporated into the cabling. And you're going to see this with, there, I can be like Kilroy was here. Anyway, sorry, got distracted. You're going to see this in the cardigan as well. I either have to be on or off. I can't be half on, because then I just get insane. So the cable, the neckline, is built right into the cable chart. So what that means, and this is why it's not hard to knit, but it is hard to tech edit. I do feel really bad for my tech editor. For different sizes, that means starting on a different row of the cable. That means I had to design several different transition charts. Again, it's not hard for you, because you just pick your size and you'll follow the transition chart to get you from this rib perfectly to that cable. But I don't want you to think, oh no, now I'm locked into this length, because you know me, I love you to be able to adjust. So don't worry, there's going to be tutorials on the length, and I'm going to basically unlock the math. And I'll say, like, for instance, if you start on this row, you'll get this much length from this row to the neck. Start on this row, you'll get this much length from this. So you can start on different size rows to get a different length, right? The other thing is, because it's all stockinette on the side, that allows a pretty darn easy adjustment if you wanted an A-line shape, because all you're doing is adding stockinette stitches on the side, and then based on your length, I'll do a tutorial on how to bring that to your chest size. So say you wanted to make a longer length and an A-line, more like a tunic, right? Super easy adjustment. The other thing, I don't know if you can see this, is, let me see if I can move this camera. There we go. I'll tip her down. Saddle shoulders. So this is my first, for the knit along, saddle shoulder, because you know I like to do a different construction each time. So I like to introduce you to different constructions. So we have done so far, we have done set and sleeve, we've done raglan, we've done dolman construction, we've done seamless construction with volition top down, we've done modified drop shoulder, but we haven't done saddle. Now here, the shawl collar, this has short row shaping. This is all done with short row shaping. Do not worry, there'll be videos for short row shaping. And honestly, it's not that hard, right? You're going to be amazed how not hard it is. So, okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to change. So this is crazy because it's live, like, yeah. So what I'm going to do is I am going to mute my mic while I play a little video so that I can take off my sweater, put this on so I can show you what it looks like on me. This was the size that I knit for my husband, but I realized I love it for myself. So the other thing you're going to want to think about is, do you want like a tailored fit, or do you want kind of an oversized fit? So this is the 38-inch chest, which is slightly oversized on me. It means that instead of the shoulder seam coming like right at my shoulder seam. It's, you know, a little bit drop down, and it's my easy breezy toss it over jeans. I love it. But then I'm knitting the 34-inch with waist shaping for my cardigan. So, okay, here we go. I am going to play a little video while I change. Oh my God, I just barely finished changing when it finished. Okay. I can't believe I just did a costume change live. So this is it on me. This is a 38. It's totally like casual, toss it on over jeans. You can see the shoulder seam comes to the outside of my shoulder bone. So it's a little more of a relaxed fit, but it's just really, it's crazy cozy. So I'm loving the 38, but I want to also introduce you to the unfinished sweater. So this is something, here we go. So here we have the cardigan, and this is being done with my waist shaping. So again, you can see, I'm gonna tip this up a little bit. Hold on. Whoops. Okay. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit and then tip the camera up. So you can see with this one as well that I have grown the cable right out of the rib. And here you have a little waist shaping. And don't worry about waist shaping like, oh my goodness, that'll be too tight on me. There is tons of ease still at the waist. I will never have, you know, a zero ease situation at the waist. Not a good look. So this waist is, I'm trying to remember, it's like 31 inches at the waist for a 34-inch chest. So there's still plenty of ease at the waist. But I want to show you the front. This is going to have a lovely button band with a shawl collar, but I don't know if you can see, I don't know how well you can see this, but again, the V-neck shaping is integrated within the cable. So that's all part of the cable chart in the V-neck shaping. So it'll be the same thing that you will decide what row of the chart you're going to start on based on your size. And you have pockets in this one. And another thing that I'm kind of crazy about is where buttons go. So this is where I'm really envious of I don't know how, it's not, I'm not envious of designers that don't care, because I'm not saying designers don't care, but I'm envious of people that aren't like obsessed with the details, because I tried to figure out like, well, how do other people do buttons where they are true to sizes and they have different lengths? And I would read all these different cardigan patterns, and it would say like knit X number of stitches and then put in the buttonhole. And then it would say something like, then spread out the other buttonholes evenly I'm like, really? But then they're just going to be any old place in the 2x2 rib, and that's going to like super bum me out. So I really like to have buttonholes land quite specifically where I want them to land. And I'm going to catch up on all these. Oh, okay. I'm seeing a lot of people reassuring Shannon, which means Shannon must be saying she doesn't think she can do it, but she totally can. Hold on. I gotta scroll back, because that we cannot have that. We cannot have that. That will not stand. It will not stand. I don't know if Linda's here, because if Linda's here, she's going to jump in and tell Shannon that she can do it, because I just know her. Okay. Oh my God, you guys were super chatty. Oh shoot, I forgot to grab the yarn. I'm going to grab the yarn in a second. Oh, there's so many. I'm never going to catch up with all these comments. Okay. Oh wait. Wait. Oh darn, mine is still too little. Do you mean your kid? Well, first of all, they'll grow into it. So CocoKnits said, "Oh darn, mine's still too little." So if you were my mother, you would never purchase anything for me that actually fit, because she would feel like that's a waste of money. So from age, I would say birth to 9, maybe, I never had anything that fit me. In fact, oh God, I really shouldn't tell you this. So I used to take ballet class, and my mom would get me the largest leotard because she thought they were expensive and she's not going to keep replacing them. You know, you'd have tights and you'd have leotards. And the leotard, the crotch would basically be at my knees, and we'd hike it up and then roll it. And then she like put a freaking rubber band around my waist or something like that, piece of elastic. I never grew into that leotard. As a fully grown adult, that leotard never fit me. So anyway, oh, and yes, you can knit it at a different gauge. And no, I don't think you'd need fingering. I think CocoKnits, tell me how little the kit is, because this is 21 stitches per 4-inch. So you could do it on like a DK weight yarn, or maybe a sport weight. You wouldn't have to go to fingering. But also, I mean, if they're a baby, babies don't need pockets. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I didn't make it for babies. They're not going to enjoy pockets. A kid is going to enjoy pockets because they're going to put all their little secret things in here. They're going to put their, sticks of gum. Do kids still chew gum? Is that like a thing? I'm like 100 years old. Okay, gonna catch up. Oh, I'm gonna show you the yarn in a second. Oh, Susan has your Northampton swatch done. Excellent. Yes, Valley Northampton, which I'm gonna grab out of my closet. I'm just gonna see if I can walk around there. You'll just chat amongst yourselves for a second when I walk away. And Taki Manchester. So I did that. This is Manchester, and what I'm wearing is Northampton. Both are incredibly reasonably priced, but Northampton is like really reasonably priced. I think it's $7 something a ball, but you get like crazy good yardage. So this took 6 balls of yarn to do. So yeah, it's really, so I always like to provide not only 2 price points, but 2, I'm going to show you a close-up of the yarns, and you'll get a sense of how different they are, because one is going to give you a more rustic look. It's a 2-ply, it's a little drapier, and one is going to be a little more structured. And it's a 4-ply, so it's smoother. Oh, wow, look at the sleeve. Thank you. You like the sleeve? I like that too. Okay, catching up. Saddle, shoulder, and pockets. Bye. That's right. That's okay. Marnie says I'll never take it off. You know what? So I'll be honest. This is now my favorite thing I've ever made for myself. But prior to that, the favorite thing I ever made for myself, the thing that when you all aren't looking and I just wake up in the morning and I want to toss a sweater on, was this. This was Harbor Springs. This is still like my coziest go-to sweater that I chuck on the most. There you go. Okay. I wish I could knit that sweater. Shannon, why can't you knit this sweater? This is knits and pearls, knits and pearls, knits and pearls. What's a chart? It's see a box, knit a stitch, see a box, knit a stitch. What's a cable? Okay, what is a cable? A cable is, instead of knitting stitch 1, 2, 3, and 4, it's putting these on a holder and saying, I'll get to you later. First, I'm going to knit 3, 4, and then I'm going to knit 1, 2. That ain't no thing, right? So I don't know if Linda's here, but I just found out during Affinity that one of the members of the Ravelry group that's knit a bunch of stuff that I assumed was an advanced knitter. She's, oh, actually Linda's right there. She's 2 comments down. During Affinity, she said when she knit her first sweater, which by the way, was not only cables, it was cables and lace, and it had a compound access cable, which means you need to use 2 cable needles. And she was a brand new sweater knitter. She was a new knitter, which I did not know at all. So there. So yeah, all you have to do is take it 1 stitch at a time, 1 step at a time, and read your knitting. Look at what's on your needle. That's all you need to do. That is it. That is totally it. Okay, I'm trying to catch up. So you can do it. See, there's Linda saying you could do it, because I know you can do it. My head almost exploded when Linda said that she was a pretty new knitter. I had no freaking clue. Inset sleeves are scary. They are not scary. If you want a sweater that fits you well, nothing fits you better than a set-in sleeve. And how many, okay, speak up, you guys. Sandra's been knitting for 3 years. Okay, I mean, that's a long time. That's a long time compared to, Linda, type how long you had been knitting before you knit that sweater, because I was so surprised. So a set-in sleeve is super easy. It's just 1 stitch at a time. And there is a 25-minute tutorial on it, really extensive tutorial. So I want to grab, actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to unpin this guy and I want to show it to you on camera, because I just want to show you a little bit about the quality of the 2 yarns. And the folks that went to Affinity, they got each ball of yarn in their goodie bag so that they can swatch and let's pretend. Don't buy yarn until I put out the link to buy yarn, please, because it really helps me if you guys buy the yarn with the link, because then the lovely folks at Webs know that you're part of the knit along and they know it's worth it to them to be sponsoring my knit alongs. And I capture a small part of the yarn sales, which is the only way I can produce this. This is the only thing I've been working on since March. So I'm not generating income by designing 8 million things. So anyway, okay. So I want to show you this close up on camera. I just want to show you the difference in the yarn. So this is Manchester, and you can see it's so beautiful. It's a 2-ply. And so what that does is it gives you just a bit more of a rustic look for the cables, which I really love. And I'll show you a close-up of the neck. So here you can see the neck shaping is built into the cable. So it looks funny on camera, I think the light and shadow of the yarn, because it has just like the littlest bit of sheen to it, is kind of looking funny on camera. So this is what this guy looks like. And then you can see, I'm going to scroll out a little bit. Here, this is one that I did with the waist shaping. So you can see there's my increases there, and it nips in at the waist just a little bit. And this is the Northampton. So this is the neck shaping. And this is what I do. Oh yeah, there it is. Holy mo. So 3 years, that's a freaking lifetime. I just found out Linda started knitting 6 months. 6 months. It's crazy pants. But you know what? It's not crazy pants, because if you know the knit and the purl, cast on and bind off, everything else you learn as you go. So whatevs. So this is Northampton. Oh, the color just got weird. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to my hand like that. This is Northampton, and it's rounder and smoother, and it gives, it's a little more structured than the Manchester, which has a bit more drape. So what I recommend is, once the link is live, buy one of each and play around and see what you think. Because that's the best way to do it. Should I go? You know what? I'm going to show you the actual ball later, but now that you know what yarn it is, you can look, but don't buy it yet. So we all come back to when. So when will be soon. I do want to take a small vacation. So I'm hoping it will go on sale early October. So not pretty soon. I just would like to, I'd like to knit the kid sweater. Speaking of kid sweater, I did want to show you that. So Sandra knit the kid sweater. So here, these are just on her blocking board. So this is the cardigan. And you might see, I don't know if you can see this, but the kids cardigan has a different chart for the outside cable, because it has to have a different chart for the outside cable. Otherwise, I couldn't make it that small. And then let's see, do I still have the back? Let's see if I can find that picture of the back. Hold on. The back, here we go. There's the back. And the other difference for the kids is, in addition to the fact that it's a different cable on the outside, I did 1x1 rib for the kid sizes, because I think proportionally around their little kids' faces, like for the shawl collar, that's going to look nicer. And also, frankly, to be honest, kids' patterns aren't usually like so fussy. So I didn't want to have the issue of like all those different transition charts, because the 1x1, you can just go. Okay, so I'm catching up. Oh, so if you have sensitive skin, I mean, first of all, I think this one, I'm wearing this with nothing underneath it. This is 100% wool, and it's very soft. I'm not wearing anything underneath it. But the Manchester is like butter. The Manchester is super, super soft, because the Manchester is a blend. You know what? I am going to grab the yarn, even though this is so unprofessional, because here's what I'm going to do. All right. I'm going to play the video again while I grab the yarn, because then I don't feel as weird about it, about like just totally going off camera. Of course, this is weird enough that it's blank for a second, but okay, I'll be back in 1 second. Chat amongst yourselves. There's the pocket. I had to have one close up of the pocket. That's my husband. Isn't he cute? He thought that sweater was for him, but he sadly found out I'm going to steal it. Okay. So here's the Northampton. And this guy is 100% wool. And it's, remember that, you know, there's like, people think, oh, acrylic is junk. but there's as many levels of quality of acrylic as there is levels of quality in wool. So sometimes people that say they find wool scratchy, they're maybe using not the greatest quality wool. This is a gorgeous wool. So you can see this is giant. It's 247 yards. So it's humongous. And it comes from Peru. So it's a really beautiful wool. And then you have Manchester, Taki Manchester. So Manchester is fine Highland wool. So it's really soft, but it doesn't have the structure. So it's a little drapier. It doesn't have the stiff structure of this one. And super fine alpaca and a little bit of acrylic for wear. So that's really important. So I would get both and see which one you like. This one's definitely, you know, like a cloud of softness it is. Oh God, Zanti's here and she just saw me go off camera and grab yarn. That's professional. Okay. Has anyone ever knit with Camel? You know, I haven't. I actually haven't knit with Camel yet. I'd like to try it, but I think it's warm. It's very warm. So it might be a little, well, it depends on where you live. It might be a little warm for cables, but you can try it. Anyone use Manchester? I have. I loved it. So yeah, this one is like butter. But I will say this, someone asked me a question and I almost hate to answer this, but someone said for first time cable knitters, which yarn would you recommend? And there's nothing wrong with working with Manchester if you're a new cable knitter, but I guess I would slightly give the edge if you're a new cable knitter to working with a 4-ply. Because when you're working with a 2-ply that's sort of softly spun, and that's part of what makes it super soft, is it's easy to split the 2 plies, to put your needle accidentally between the 2 plies. Santi, I didn't do anything. I know, I just thought like, I like to be professional when you're here. And I forgot to bring the yarn over from the closet. So I had to do the super unprofessional thing of going to a blank screen for a second. Were you here when I did a costume change? That was good. But I think I did that one pretty slick. I put on a movie while I changed clothes. But anyway, okay, I'm going to quickly catch up on comments. And then, oh my God, I've been talking for an hour. So I'm going to go because I really have to write my column for Modern Daily Knitting, which it's so interesting how the zeitgeist works. Because I don't know if you guys have noticed this, how often in Modern Daily Knitting, I'll say, I got not 1, but 2 emails about this. I got not 1. I got 3 emails within days, all on the same topic, which makes me wonder if there's like a new pattern out that's really popular that a lot of people are knitting. So anyway, it's about pattern reading. And I have to write it. So I'm going to catch up. Oh, Shannon says my husband is cute, and Zanti says he's a good one. Yes, Zanti knows. Oh, using Southampton now. Southampton. Which one? Southampton. Now I don't remember what that one is. What needle size did, oh, Jinjin, so for the folks that were at Affinity, I put it up in the chat. It was 21 stitches and I think 30 rows on, off the top of my head, on a US 7. I hope that's right. I know it's 21 stitches. Is it 30 rows? And it's for sure on a US 7, because that's what I knit the whole dang thing on. Which is a 4.5 millimeter. Let me double check. Affinity, regular, not Affinity Junior. Yeah, US 7, 4.5 millimeter, 21 stitches and 30 rows in stockinette. Yeah. So if you are in Affinity and you have those balls of yarn and you want to swatch, give it a try. Oh, Jin. There, so by the way, Kate she has a class, she has a book on tech editing. Then there's a class that I don't know whether the new Craftsy transferred over, because Craftsy didn't transfer over all the classes, and there's also some that are still transferring. But there's a class that Edie Ekman teaches called How to Say It that I would highly recommend. And then finally, there's a tech editing course that I'm just blanking on who taught that, but I'll find it and I'll put it in the show notes. That's really, really good. I will thank, oh, there's Pam. Pam, where have you been? Did you literally just show up? Holy moly. We were talking about you earlier, but I figured you were napping. So there you go. Oh, Southampton is kid mohair, lace weight. Woo! Okay, well, that would not be appropriate for the cable sweater, but it sounds really pretty. Can you imagine a cable sweater out of kid mohair lace weight? I think I might stab myself in the eye with a needle. Yeah, that sounds about right. Oh, thank you, Jill Woolcott. That's it, Jill Woolcott. Unfortunately, it's not a filmed class. She teaches it live, which is fortunately and unfortunately. So it's not, you can't just get it anytime. So you have to sign up for her newsletter and keep an eye out for the sessions that she does. But tech editing is, unless you're tech editing a lousy designer, it's very little about math. Like, my math is always really right. Tech editing is so much more than that. It's more than copy editing, because David does the final copy edit. Often it is trying to get in, and this is hard, it's trying to get into the head of a knitter and thinking, this is bugging me, I'm having an ADD moment, and thinking, what might they not understand? Or is there a simpler way to communicate that? And more than that, I remember something that I learned from my friend Liz. She was one of my very first tech editors, Liz Shaw. Hi, Liz Shaw. Elizabeth Shaw. She wrote a little note on a sweater that I did. And it said something like, I respect your desire to be true to every size, but can we simplify this? And her point was, and this was a big thing that I learned from her. So I learned a lot from different tech editors. If you're super true to every size, but it doesn't really matter, it's like a stitch here or there. And that means that when you're reading a pattern, it says bind off 4, parentheses 5, parentheses 6, parentheses, there's different instructions for each size for the shoulder shaping. It's longer to read, looks more complicated, and it's easier for a knitter to get lost. So what you do as a designer when you're grading, that's where you're making patterns for lots of sizes, is I will often look for which are the sizes that are so in common. That's actually what I did with the length. In order to get the lengths right, what I did is I looked through this whole chart and I found which were the rows that were identical, because it's not that they're identical in the cable, it's that they have, there might be, 2 rows that have the same number of like knit 2, purl 4, etc. So which are the classes, which are the rows, I'm still really tired, which are the rows that are the same? So I did this I remember this over 4th of July weekend, clear as day. It was 4th of July weekend. I hadn't cast on yet. And I thought, oh God, I've designed myself into a corner. And I really did almost chuck it and go 1 by 1 rib, which is a friend of mine who's a designer thinks I'm crazy for doing this. She's like, I just do 1 by 1 rib and call it a day, which is true. I totally could have done that. So it was 4th of July weekend. I remember looking for which were the rows that would transition the same. And then I did the math of each one of those rows of what length would it be. And then I looked at all the sizes, and instead of every single size starting on a different row, I said to myself, you have 12 sizes. You're not allowed to have more than 4 different transition rows. So figure it out, group it up. Don't make this pattern be 79 pages long. So that's what I did. And that's something that I learned from Liz. Something that I learned from another tech editor from Creative Knitting. I just blanked on her name. I did something totally legitimate. And it's literally how I knit it, because I always write the pattern, I hit print, and then I knit. And it was a reverse shirt tail hem, and it's how I knit one side and then join to the other. And she said, it would be a lot easier if you did this instead of knitting across and then joining. And I said, but that's not what I did. I did, that would be a lie. And she said, nobody cares what you did. The end result is identical. You're not lying. You're not like, they'll look the same, but this is an easier thing to knit. And I'm like, oh yeah, that was. Because sometimes you don't always see it. Like back in my theater days, like literally the most embarrassing moment of being right here, where you can't see the obvious thing, is back when I was a stage manager, and this was for the show Jersey Boys. And when you enter this one scene, which is in a bar, and there are these tables on wheels, and the chorus, they're not chorus, the ensemble rolls them in, and then they sit down. So the tables are set in the wings with the prop drinks for each character set in the spot that they need. And the blocking is who moves where, when, is called blocking in theater. The blocking changed, and instead of this couple entering in this wing, the wings are like the different parts of the backstage where you enter from. Which meant I started picking up all these prop glasses, being like, okay, so this one now goes over here, and this one should go over here. And my assistant goes, remember, the tables are on wheels. She says, what? Or so, yeah, I don't always see the obvious thing. So that's my perfect example of that. Okay, last thing I wanted to tell you was right on the tip of my brain before I got on the Jersey Boys tangent. Dang it. Now I'm all nervous because Auntie's here. What the heck was I going to tell you? Oh no, Pam, don't sing Four Seasons songs. Although now I'm past, there's a rule in theater that I have. So back from when I was in theater, the number of years you were with a show equals the number of years that those songs are forbidden from being sung in your home. So I did Forever Plaid for 3 years. And so anytime like a song, like Three Coins in the Fountain, or, a song from Forever Plaid would come on the radio, and I would leap. For 3 years, we weren't allowed to listen to that. So I did Jersey Boys for 2 years, but that was so long ago. Dang, I really was going to tell you one more thing before I left. And now I forgot what it was. Oh, the humanity. Tech editing, sizing. Oh, no, I know what it was. I was going to show you a buttonhole. So last little sneak peek, and I ripped out the other buttonhole, but often I'll use these swatches to figure things out. Oh, that was me tossing yarn onto my keyboard, and all of a sudden I heard the click, 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 click. So this was my my swatch to figure out the cardigan, which is literally like a cardigan front. Yes, that was my swatch. That was my swatch, yo. But two things swatching helped me figure out. One is that every pocket for every pattern, for every integrated pocket, like hidden pocket that I've ever seen, I looked at patterns, I tried to follow them, and I got a hole right there. So we have a 30-second delay, so I won't know whether or not you are typing that you had a hole, but they have a hole right there. So I did this swatch. I seamed it, I joined it, I got a hole right there. It bugged me. So this helped me do my unvented pocket, which you're going to learn, which has an unvented pocket. But then also sometimes I'll pick up stitches and I'll play around with shaping. That's what I did with here to practice, to figure out how I wanted the short row collar. And that also helped me realize that this pulled in, and again, you don't have to do things the way a pattern's written. Every pattern I've ever read has just you picking up the 2x2. But then when you have to sew this down, it ended up pulling the shoulder. So instead, I have a little tricky thing where for a while it's 2x1 and then you increase. So that helps. But I told you I was nuts about buttonholes. So the other nutty thing I did about the cardigan is I want my buttonholes on the adult to land perfectly within the 2x2. And we are going to thank you. Thank you. Your tangents are fun. I'm totally ADD right now. They're going to land perfectly in the purl twos, which means different sizes have different number of buttons. And it was way more complicated for me to write, not for you to knit. Also, because it's unisex, I think it's stupid, but some people are still used to the buttons being on the left versus the right. Now, I refuse to write for the kids version, boy button band, girl button band, or for the adult version, women's, men's, because to me, the whole idea of a unisex pattern and then saying women's, men's made me want to throw up inside my mouth a little bit. So instead, it just says buttonholes on the right, buttonholes on the left, because I don't care where you put your buttonholes. What if you're left-handed and you're a woman? Right? Anyway, but for the kids' sweater, they have smaller buttons because I like it to be in proportion. So the kids' buttonholes, I also like to look perfect. So I'm crazy that way. So this was experimenting with 2 different types of buttonholes. I didn't like that one because this is a yarn over buttonhole and it ended up pulling too much. This is a fancy buttonhole that you'll get to learn, but they're going to land perfectly within the purl ones. So that's my little craziness. Now I really have to go to work, but I'm going to read. This is not my fault. Santi says, this is not my fault. I know. I just always like to be perfect when you're here because, you know, I'm afraid I'll get notes later. Oh, thank you, Susan. I love the idea of Patty having her own educational platform. So do I. It's just going to take a lot of work. So be patient with me. By the way, this person that I keep referring to, well, you all know who Pam is. You may thank Zanti for the online store because she's the one who put that together. See, now I feel bad. Did you do now? Okay, God, now I'm going to get yelled at. Okay, so I'm going to do something now before I go because Santi just said, did you do a shop walkthrough? And the answer is no, I didn't. But what a good idea is that? So I'm going to do it now. So I did mention to you that we have a new online store. And I did mention to you that it's ready to go. But what I didn't do is give you a walkthrough, which I'm going to do now. So this would have been slicker had this been pre-set up, but it wasn't. So instead, you have to just look at my face for a while I go to a blank screen so that I can get it set up, which I'm doing right now. So just pretend that this is all really professional. Okay, so now I have to move this out of the way. Okay, so here is my new website. Well, it's not my new website, it's my new shop. So it's same old website, but there you have a tab that says shop. And you have video classes and DVDs. And then you have 2 options. you have click here to explore class by type. So if you click there, we can have, sorry, I have to move back to my camera so I can actually see what I'm doing. You have your categories. So you have video pattern classes. Those are all those patterns that have the videos embedded in them. You have all my technique classes, and you have the little arrow that scrolls forward, right, where you can see them all. Or for any category, you could just click here to see all the technique classes, which I'll come back to in a second. Then you have the classes on DVDs. Remember, these can also be delivered to you digitally, but 8 of my 17-ish classes are available via DVD as well. So with any of these, you could also click on the category link and you can see everything. And you can sort them any which way you can. Right now, we have no sorting by rating because we don't have any ratings yet. But you can also shop with filters because Zanti wanted to have many ways for you to shop. So you can shop with, you can have, and again, you can have all the different sorting too. But you can say what kind of things you want. Do I want only video pattern classes? Do I want to see tank tops, vests, etc.? So then let me go back and we'll look at some more things. So that's classes. Then if I want to pop back to the top of the shop, I have then patterns. So again, we have 2 different ways to sort by our patterns. We can explore patterns by type. And we have all of those lovely categories. And again, each category, you can click here to see all of them. If you don't want to, advance with the arrows, you can just say, okay, just show me everything. Show me every accessory pattern. I got some scrap yarn. I gotta use up some stuff on a small object, or no, I want to see all the sweaters. Also, what I love is, say you're in a category, like a hat. Maybe you thought, let me see that. Let me see that bad boy. Then you also have other things like Make the Companion Hudson Valley Mittens. You have some featured products over here. You have sales and specials, but you also have the You Might Also Like. So notice, for instance, this hat has cables. So, look, a cable class. Or this is a hat. Oh, look, here's another hat, right? There's the accompanying mittens. Then you have other products. But the other thing I like is that you always have tags here. So sometimes I'm like, oh, well, you know what? I'll just click on this hat tab. And boom, I'm in hats, right? There's so many different ways that you can bop around really easily, which I love. I'm not seeing the comments, so I'm not sure if I'm doing this tour to Zanti's liking. I'm scared of the comments, but I'll look at the comments in a second. But right now they're not up. So, okay, you've got video classes and DVDs, you have patterns, and then you have kits. So the kits are pretty heavily discounted. Right now I just have 3, but I am hoping to be reaching out to retailers, to wholesalers, to find more yarn companies that are interested in doing kits with me. So like Anzula, this is the beautiful yarn for Seagate. And so Seagate comes with videos built right in. It has 12 videos and 3 sweater mods. So when you get the kit, you get the sweater pattern at 50% off, and you get the yarn at 10% off. So you can choose your size, you can choose your color. And if you want to see, the colors, up close and personal, you can sort of take a look at some more of the Seagate colors here. And there's also, oops, hold on. There's also over here, click this for the list of colors. You can get them really big. There you go. And it opens in a different tab, which I like. So you can just tab back and forth. The reason I like the different tabs, and Zanti knows I like that, is because say you're like, oh yeah, Mariana. Okay, I like that. And then you hit the back button and you're like, oh, wait, what was it called again? So here, if you forget, what was that one called again? You can just look at the tab. Oh yeah, that's what that color was like. I love that color. So you can choose your color. Then you even get the option of choosing extra. Because the yarn is 10% off, sometimes people are like, oh, you know, I also have a hat pattern, so I'm gonna get 2 extra black cherry. So there you go. Okay, I'm gonna bot back to the other page for a second to see how I'm doing and if I did that okay. So let me see. Going back to comments. Oh, hold on. I gotta cancel the sound. Okay, so how did I do? I want to make sure I did okay. Did I do my shop walkthrough? I didn't. I forgot. Oh, Sandra, when will the MDK column come out? Well, because they extended me for 2 weeks, they're probably going to get it today, do a very quick read, and schedule it in the next couple of days. So it'll probably come out pretty fast. Is there a discount if we want a DVD and a download? That is a good question, which I haven't thought about, bundling them. So do me a favor. Can you email me that? Email me that question at info@pattylyons.com and remind me, and we will consider that, because that's a very good question. Although, can I be honest? Well, maybe I shouldn't be honest. Never mind. Okay. Oh, Zanti said I was doing good. Are we going to wait till October? Wait for what? For this? Yes, you have to wait. Please wait, because it's not out yet. And please don't buy the yarn until I give you the link to buy the yarn. I would really appreciate it. All right, now, because I did, so Zanti, just to explain why I didn't do the walkthrough, there was so much to talk about today. I had to give them I gave them the virtual affinity update and what happened there. I told them about the new shop. Then I told them about the educational platform that's coming. Then we talked all through this. So there was a lot. This was a big day. This was a lot. So I'm sorry, I didn't do it right. But was that a good walkthrough? Should I do more? I think that gives you a sense. So go to pattylyons.com and check out the shop. But now I think I have to say goodbye, because I have a column due. I have 8 million emails. Also, I just packed up and shipped 14 boxes that were all the prizes people won during Affinity. But I also have a gajillion DVD orders that came in the past 48 hours that I have to fill and pack up. Oh my God, I'm so tired. And I have a sweater to finish on top of that. And then I have a kid's sweater to knit. And I'm going to send that to my friend Francesca, and we're going to do a trade. Gorgeous, because she's a professional photographer who happens to have a daughter. So gorgeous photos in exchange for she gets to keep the sweater. Okay. I'm going to say goodbye. And before I do, we all know how we like to sign off, right? So there is a bit of a 30-second delay. So I always like to give you a little warning. But here in Quarantine Live Land, we have a certain saying. Now, by the way, I also see I'm very unorganized. There's one more important thing that I needed to tell you. Very important. I know I took 2 weeks off, which was a bummer. But now that I'm trying to get so much accomplished, I want to go to a schedule of Quarantine Live being every other week. Is that okay? I hope that's okay. So I'm gonna try to get a schedule going so that I can publish it. I know who the next guest is. It's gonna be Julie from CocoKnits. And then we're gonna have Lauren Elkin. But we are gonna go to every other week. Okay, so here we are all together. That's right, wash your face. See, I did it wrong again. Let's try that again. Wash your hands. Don't touch your face. Let's see if I can make it come on. See, it came on when I didn't want it to, and now it won't come on when I want it to. There it is. Wash your hands, don't touch your face, wear your mask, knit on. There we go. That's what I have to say. Thank you guys so much. I will see you in a week, not next week, but 2 weeks from now. We're going to go to an every other week schedule. Okay, knit on with your bad selves, and I will see you in a couple weeks. Don't worry, you don't have to remember. I will print it on Instagram. Okay. Bye.